The first weekend of the 2023 Great Push has just finished, and Perplexed has narrowly defeated Mandatory, though we will see both teams face off again in the Global Finals next month. My name is Dratnos, and today we're going to look at how Perplexed managed to conquer a Halls of Infusion plus 29 with almost 3 minutes to spare. Perplexed start their dungeon off with a bang, pulling all of the enemies from the first room forward and using their Bloodlust along with every offensive cooldown they have. The composition they're using features some incredible synergies, with the Shadow Priest hitting Power Infusion on a Combusting Fire Mage with a second Bloodlust effect rolling. All of this is further supported by the Augmentation Evoker, the newest spec in the game, granting extra stats to the group and lining up a massive Breath of Eons with all of those damage cooldowns. This combination of abilities makes short work of even these fortified plus 29 enemies, but Perplexed needs to be careful because even one Expulse or Demoralizing Shout going off will end their attempt. One of the affixes active in this dungeon is Sanguine, which Perplexed have to carefully manage. PvPers may tell you not to backpedal, but Divine makes tremendous use of that S key to keep the enemies grouped up while avoiding any bathing in the Sanguine. Perplexed then head to the left and take things a little bit more slowly now that their cooldowns are down. They've also made sure to invite an engineer that can use the orb found over here to give every member of the group one charge of limited immortality, which will prevent their first death. The pack just before the first boss is very dangerous, so Xesevi uses Bop on Wolfdisco, who runs in and pulls the enemies forward a little bit. Still out of combat, the rest of the group rushes past, while Wolfdisco uses Dragon's Breath to disorient the pack. Once the group is safely through, Wolfdisco blinks away and goes invisible, dropping combat with those deadly enemies. Swag uses Mass Dispel to great effect on Watcher Irideus, instantly dispelling both power overload dots before they have the chance to kill anyone. The group then quickly escapes the electric field left behind, with Ashine using Rescue to quickly relocate himself and Swag. With this level of precision, Perplexed are able to make short work of the first boss. After carefully handling the poisonous Swoglets of the next room, Perplexed need to use their next Bloodlust or risk losing a use of the powerful group cooldown. They pull some Dragonflies down into the next room and again line up almost all of their offensive cooldowns. Divine puts on a Sanguine Masterclass, limiting it to only 5 million healing on this pull, while still keeping the mobs in the Flame Strike for almost the entire duration of combat. The Gulping Goliath is a scary boss for many of us, but Perplexed also make it look easy. Every overpowering Croak cast follows the same script. All 5 group members stack up, wait for the first circles to appear, and then move in the same direction, which causes the Swoglets to spawn nice and tightly grouped, and all running in the same direction, which makes it easy for Divine to make sure that all of them get eaten by the next gulp. They also have plenty of good tools to keep the Swoglets off of them, like Typhoon and Wing Buffet. Once the Toad goes down, Perplexed put Swag to work, mind-soothing all of the enemies between this boss and the next one. They skip to the bottom of the hallway, using a round of cooldowns to make short work of the dangerous Proto-Dragon before it casts too many deep chills. After a quick backtrack to kill a smaller pull while cooldowns recover, they engage Khajin the Unyielding, a very dangerous boss even with Fortified active instead of Tyrannical. The main danger of this fight is just the constant ticking damage throughout the fight, but they have plenty of off-healing tools, plus a special Shadow Priest trick that they use to convert Incorporeal from a hostile to a friendly affix. With Dominate Mind talented, Swag converts an Incorporeal from each set to instead stack its debuff on the boss. This effect is a lot less powerful on enemies than it is on us, but it still reduces the boss's damage by 10%, which is a lot of value at this keystone level. The final Trash Gauntlet is incredibly dangerous on plus 29 Fortified. Divine has to manage the enemies perfectly to avoid killing his group with a frontal, while also dodging the incoming waves and tanking heavy incoming damage. Perplexed also makes sure to stop the Tidal Divergence casts as the Ragers get low, since this going off would create many surprisingly deadly little enemies. As they pull the last boss, the goal is to win before the boss splits for the 3rd time. This means that damage needs to be tightly optimized whenever the boss is up, though their lusts will be available for the third and final up phase. The team moves as a group to keep the infused globules safely stacked together to one side. They manage to get the boss to 65% before the first down phase, which is on pace for the 3-phase kill. After being sent far away, they race back to the boss room to quickly group up all 4 infusers in the middle of the room by simultaneously kicking all 4. Divine stands in the middle of the arena so that all 4 head to the same spot, and they get close enough that effects like Incapacitating Roar will hit all 4, allowing them to stop multiple casts at once and make short work of the infusers. From here, it's rinse and repeat. In the intermissions, Perplexed makes sure to get back quickly to stop the infusers from powering up the boss too much, and when the boss comes back up for the last time at just 30% health, they have their Bloodlust ready to secure the kill. We hope you've enjoyed this breakdown of Perplexed's Halls of Infusion. Be sure to tune in for the next 2 weekends for groups B and C, where the final 4 global finalist teams will be decided. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in Azeroth.